Welcome to the DMNC show, where we like to ask the questions, what do you think about that? And let's talk about it. So here is an 18-page document that no one is talking about. And I mean, what do we think about that? Because this is the proof that the elections were manipulated and there was some cheating going on. So why isn't this being covered by any news channel, by any social media people? And if I can find it and broadcast it, why can't they?
You believe are evidence of actual fraud having been committed?
Well, you're referring to electronic.
Anything?
Well, I'll give you an example. As a result of our concerns expressed in the December and November, we did a full statewide request for ballot images from all the counties. We found out that the original ballot images in over about 70 counties had been destroyed, and in spite of the fact that they're required to be retained for 2 years by federal and state law. We went in and we analyzed in Fulton County again. I hate to keep going back to them, but we found out that the Fulton County ballot images were electronically altered before the certification of the results in 2020. That is evidence of actual fraud that occurred, which has still not really been properly investigated to this day.
Okay, that's one. What else?
In regards, we've since found that at least 1,000 double copied ballots in Chatham County. And we have found, I think, 8,000 double scan ballots statewide, approximately. Now, that is not necessarily fraud. That could be errors, or it could be a mixture of fraud and errors. We have no way of knowing until all that's investigated.
And these are things that you've found.
Our organization has
Can you cite us some examples of evidence of fraud that is in the public record? Not something that you have investigated and uncovered, but any other evidence of fraud.
So the counterfeit ballots that we talked about earlier, again, these were mail-in ballots that weren't folded from being mailed. They were not on the correct paper stock. They were not marked with a writing instrument. They were marked with toner, according to senior poll managers who've got sworn affidavits in court cases right now. They testified that they were marked the same way down ballot for dozens in a row. That's clear evidence of fraud in the 2020 election that was known before January 3rd. In fact, it was known before December 3rd.
There were 100 of those ballots, correct?
No one knows how many ballots were, because we've spent 3 years in court trying to get those ballots public record. We actually appealed that case to the Georgia Supreme Court. We won the case in the Georgia Supreme Court. They declared that we had standing all along, and the Superior Court judge had made a complete error. That case went back down. He then passed it off to another judge who we believed was too impartial. We filed a motion to recuse. So after 3 years, we had still not got to see the ballots that there were 6 sworn affidavits for that were counterfeit. That is not the appropriate way to investigate. And the Secretary of State's office filed that amicus brief against us to try to prevent us from looking at the ballots. What kind of a Secretary of State would have done that?
Corrupt one, I guess.
That's your opinion, not right?
So I need to ask, what do you think about this? And then let's talk about it. Because this type of corruption is unacceptable. Not as a Republican, not as a Democrat, not as left, right, conservative, but as an American. This type of corruption is unacceptable. And how it relates to being dads, we know how it goes down in courts. We need to stop this type of corruption on all levels. This denial of evidence and proof of facts. Spread this around, comment on it so that the algorithms help to spread it around, and share, because no one else is talking about this. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.